Looking at that almanac for your Thursday, we're still dealing with above average temperatures for this time of the year, even though our afternoon high has finally began to dip below freezing. 30 degrees was our high. When it comes to that low, though, still 23 degrees, even 1 degree above the afternoon high for late January. 19 for the low of 4 for this time of the year. When it comes to that record, though, nowhere near 53 or negative 30 respectively. And when it comes to the time of daylight, we're already up to 9 hours and 28 minutes. Today's temperatures starting to go a little bit down compared to what we saw yesterday. As now more of that colder air is starting to slowly make its way in. 28 in Marquette, 31 in Iron Mountain, 30 in Houghton and Ontonagon. But the warmest temperatures continue to be further towards the east. You can still see above freezing temperatures from Escanaba to Munising at 33. When it comes to those winds, though, mostly coming out of a westerly direction between 10 to 15 miles per hour, 15 in Ironwood, 11 in Munising, 10 in Marquette. Houghton, though, the very big exception at 30 miles per hour. So you may want to hold on to your hat if you are in the Keweenaw Peninsula. But looking at what's ahead going into the weekend, we are going to be reinforced by a second cold front that comes in tomorrow. And that's going to allow those temperatures to actually drop to seasonal values for this time of the year, especially for your afternoon highs. We're going to continue to have an increase in snow for tomorrow, and that will actually linger all the way through Tuesday because there's actually going to be another disturbance that comes through sometime late Monday night into early Tuesday. So when it comes to accumulations the next couple of days, at least daily, we should be between 1 to 4 inches throughout portions of the UP, especially if that wind cranks up. It could be even more than 4 inches in some isolated areas. The good news is by the time we get towards Wednesday, especially going into Thursday, we'll already begin to see improvement and sunshine will begin to take a larger role into the UP. But going back to yesterday, looking at some of those snow totals, 4 inches of snow in Munising, 2.4 in Ishpeming, 2.2 in Hancock, and 2.1 in Newberry. And these are going to be pretty much a similar numbers we'll be seeing the next couple of days. Going into tomorrow, though, a little more closely, snow showers pretty much through a good portion of the Great Lakes thanks to that lake effect and also just that cold front coming in from Canada. And with those northwesterly and even westerly winds, that's really going to allow that lake effect to take more of a stronger presence throughout the entire UP. But here's how it's all going to break down a little more closely. Good amount of clouds. That is a positive, that's for sure. That's going to be here all weekend long. When it comes to that snowfall, it just depends where it forms along the Lake Superior shoreline. By the time we get towards your Monday, though, you can already see the second disturbance, this one coming actually from the west. And that's also going to allow a lot more colder air to come in with it as well. And that one's going to add a couple more accumulations. So there could be some areas that could have about a foot of snow once it's all said and done by the middle of next week. But for tonight, though, 20 degrees, overnight snow. That's really when it's going to begin to pick up. It's still going to be cloudy for a good portion of the evening until that snow begins. Accumulations, though, 1 to 2 inches are possible before sunrise. Winds out of the west at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Going into your Saturday a little more closely, out of the northwest at 15 miles per hour. Cooler, breezy. So these temperatures, even though they're going to be about 3 or 4 degrees cooler than they were today, that wind chill is really going to make it down and feel like more into those low teens. And we'll even see these numbers tumble a little bit more going into your Sunday as that cold front finally makes its way due south. For your day planner, you can see by tomorrow night, though, temperatures for going to Sunday morning at 15, sunrise at 8:18 a.m. And going to the next 7 days, temperatures pretty much hovering on either side of 20 degrees. The only exception will actually be on Tuesday as that disturbance comes in from the west, and that's really going to be the greatest chance of snow during the work week. But overall, you can see sunshine already starting to filter in as early as Wednesday and becoming more and more of a presence by the time we get towards your Friday. But by then, morning lows are just going to be in those single digits.